When you haven't performed live in 7 years, your band needs somewhere special to rehearse. And when your band is Pink Floyd, you know you're going to need a lot of room. So Pink Floyd and crew took over an entire airplane hangar in Toronto to get themselves ready for their much-anticipated tour. But after 7 years on the sidelines, why get back into the touring game now?
We made a record. Touring, yes. Sounds like fun.
Yeah, I think, it's actually a very long time since we've done any proper touring, because The Wall was such a sort of static show. It was untourable. And I think it was partly just being reminded of actually touring and playing live could be fun.
With the LP Momentary Lapse of Reason hitting the stores, the band wanted to uphold their long-standing tradition of spectacular live performances.
And I can't see the point in the long run in cutting corners.
Yeah, there's not much point at our advanced stage in going out and doing sort of average shows. I mean, that's really, why bother?
We've designed this thing from the start to the finish to give everybody just as much of a memorable concert as you could ever dream up.
If you're going to do it big, you might as well make it big.
Despite the departure of bassist and songwriter Roger Waters, Pink Floyd continues to evolve, both musically and theatrically, as they plan on showing their fans this fall.
For Pink Floyd fans who thought perhaps the departure of longtime bassist Roger Waters would put a dent in the band's future, think again. The new Pink Floyd album, A Momentary Lapse of Reason, is climbing Billboard's charts fast, and the band has come to this country for their first U.S. tour in a decade. As Fritz Mayer reports, the concert is a feast for both the eyes and the ears.
In the beginning was the rehearsal, the sound, food, the fine-tuning, the Boer Pig. And thus was created the most brashly innovative and technologically soulful roadshow ever from Pink Floyd, Britain's unflinchingly popular rock music craftsman.
We've designed this thing from the start to the finish to give everybody just as much of a memorable concert as you could ever dream up.
You just know that you have to go with the bigger one on all these things, or the best one, and pretty soon your entire budget has disappeared out the window.
But Floyd doesn't mind breaking the bank to give fans the kitchen sink in entertainment, with pyro displays, never-before-seen lighting systems, in-concert videos, and the infamous surround sound system.
I think it's great if you can make people really remember it, and to have significant moments that people will remember for a long time. But I can't see the point in the long run in cutting corners.
Yeah, there's not much point at our advanced stage in going out and doing sort of average shows. I mean, that's really, why bother?
For fans, the Pink Floyd love affair has never stopped. They've kept Dark Side of the Moon on Billboard's charts for 694 weeks and bought over 1.5 million tickets to Floyd's latest tour well in advance of any publicity.
Although it's very nice to sell massive tickets, I think disappointing 1.5 million people would be a very, very dangerous thing to do.
The thing is with Pink Floyd, it's not the individual members of the band that the public come to see. It's the whole experience.
Strip away the light shows and you have Floyd's reason for being, the music.
It's a sort of musical mugging, I think.
Don't forget your shades.
Yeah.
Fritz Mayer, CNN, New York.
And climbing the wall since the release of the last Pink Floyd album, get ready for A Momentary Lapse of Reason. That's the name of the British supergroup's first release in 4 years, and you won't have to go to the Dark Side of the Moon to get it. It's in record stores today. Pink Floyd's last big hit was 1982's The Wall, which went platinum and even became a feature film. Lapse isn't a movie yet, but the group starts a tour for the album tomorrow in Ottawa, Canada. They'll be at the Sports Arena this November.
Still ahead, a rock group that has become a classic has a new album coming out. There are some changes, but fans should be happy. A group from the United Kingdom has a new album out, and fans are expected to rush for it. Francesca Capucci has the good news for Pink Floyd fans.
Pink Floyd has had a 4-year lapse in its career, but you wouldn't know it by looking at this week's Billboard Pop Album chart. After 693 weeks, the album Dark Side of the Moon is still holding strong. That album was released 15 years ago, and many records have followed, all of which have gone platinum. Now, Pink Floyd has reached a turning point in its career. After the departure of Roger Waters, who was pursuing a solo career, Pink Floyd has released a new album entitled A Momentary Lapse of Reason.
It's the first time I've heard it right now.
And what do you think?
It sounds great. I mean, it sounds like Pink Floyd. It's great.
What is it about Pink Floyd that you like?
Gosh. Well, they're pretty much the first band to be like of their kind. They were very much into mood kind of pieces and experimental stuff, and I don't know if there's a label for it, but they're certainly the first band to have become commercial in that kind of a music, and I'm sure many people have followed them afterwards, but they're still pretty much the best in that area.
To celebrate the event, their record company planned a day-long promotion featuring a maid making and unmaking a bed in the Westwood Tower record store window, mimicking the new album cover. Pink Floyd's popularity is staggering. Their first North American tour in 7 years begins tomorrow, and already 1.5 million tickets have been sold. Pink Floyd will play locally at the Sports Arena at the end of November and in early December. Francesca Capucci, Channel 7 Eyewitness News in Westwood.
In Southern California, Channel 7 Eyewitness News. Now, the Southland's leading news, Eyewitness News at 11.
Pink Floyd has a very solid core of fans. The band's Dark Side of the Moon album has been on the charts for a record 725 weeks. They also have the most intricate road show on tour, and right now it's here in Los Angeles. Francesca Capucci can tell us about it.
Pink Floyd held a private concert in the rain tonight at the Memorial Coliseum. Actually, it was a dress rehearsal for tomorrow night's show, and the bad weather really didn't bother the band.
It's causing havoc with rehearsals at the moment, but being British, we're used to it. Most of the equipment is geared to be usable in the wet. I mean, we've played rain shows before, fairly frequently, in fact. And so, really, the whole thing can certainly take place without any real problems.
Pink Floyd has been on the road for 7 months. The tour coincides with the release of their first record in 4 years, entitled Momentary Lapse of Reason. And although they were here at the Sports Arena late last year, this show is a little different.
A bit bigger and grander and more fun.
Do you like playing in a big stadium like this?
Yeah, but it suits the sort of music we do, and we did a few on the last tour, and we were hoping for it to be nice and sort of warm and bright so that people would enjoy us a lot more, but it'll be great anyway.
Tomorrow's predicted weather forecast calls for cool temperatures and clear skies, but rain or shine, Pink Floyd is scheduled to hit the stage tomorrow night at 8, and there are a few tickets still available. Francesca Capucci, Channel 7 Eyewitness News at the Memorial Coliseum.
Last-minute decision to go to the Pink Floyd concert tonight at Mile High Stadium. They were expecting 65,000, but there was a huge walk-up crowd, and final numbers on attendance still aren't available. We weren't allowed inside to shoot the concert, but Pink Floyd graciously provided some videotape of their show. This is the first time they've performed in Denver in 15 years.
Reported by Dick Cable and Susan Blake. Hi again. Thanks for joining us. Well, an estimated 30,000 rock fans in Sacramento are now trying to get home after an outdoor concert.
Well, fans of the rock band Pink Floyd face lots of traffic jams and possible thunderstorms just to hear the show at Hughes Stadium tonight.
And they weren't the only ones who heard the show, we understand. Our Karen Massey joins us live now from outside Hughes Stadium for a report on the big concert. Karen?
And I have to say, what a great show. The show just got over. Lots of fireworks and sparkling things at the end. And people are just beginning to file out now. Police are calling this crowd tonight a record-breaking crowd, one of the largest they've ever seen, with more than 35,000 people, they say now. But they haven't had any problems so far, probably because many of the concert goers are older people who remember Pink Floyd from the late 60s and early 70s. But they did have a problem with the parking, though, and here's why. Earlier today, people lined up for miles to get into the stadium, and you can see the lines snaking around the corners there. Police had to direct the traffic as people packed in and tried to find a parking space. But once everybody got inside, it seems they simply just had a good time.
All in all, it's a really nice concert. People are maintaining themselves, and we're just being Pink.
It's my first time, man. Pink Floyd is totally bad. You know? It's like rev up a little more.
The people have been acting like true Americans. I mean, if this isn't the American way, I don't know what is. Capitalism at its best. Greed, scalpers, fun, beer. It's just a wonderful time. What can I say? Hey!
It certainly looked like they had a good time. There were some complaints, though, tonight about the noise from nearby residents. Concert promoters established a hotline for people to call if they have any complaints, and even though the concert is over now, they can call that number, and it's 448-6941. That's 448-6941. When I called about a half hour ago, about 50 calls had been made by nearby residents, but now that the concert is over, it seems that everybody will simply have to deal with the traffic jam and possibly walking home through the mud caused by rains yesterday and today. Back to you, Susan and Dick.
Or trying to find their way back through the mud to their cars and whatever.
Despite it all, it sounds like a great success out there tonight.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Well, early.
Live from WNYW Fox Channel 5 in New York, this is Fox News at 7.
We'll be back, though, sometime.
How about some rock and roll in space? Two members of Pink Floyd flew to Moscow, headed for the launch of Soyuz 7. Cosmonauts preparing for the mission said they like the rock group's music, so their latest album is going along. First, the album was weighed and then disinfected.
Live from WNYW Fox Channel 5 in New York, this is the 10 o'clock news.
Fans of the rock group Pink Floyd know that music can be a bit spacey. And now some of that music is going to space. Some Soviet cosmonauts say they enjoy relaxing to the band's music. And on Saturday, a joint French-Soviet crew will bring a Pink Floyd cassette up to the space station. Two members of the band will attend the launch.